Okay, so we didn't tell a lot of people about the live stream. So I'm expecting just a little bit, maybe a few people here. We didn't actually make an announcement. I'm thinking of actually making an announcement right now. But oh well. So here is the thing. So for this specific stream, I want to tell you a story that I think I've shared a couple times over on True Scary Story. So I'm just gonna wait a little bit to see if the announcement goes on that I'm live, and then we'll be able to get started with it. But let's see if there's anybody here. Let me see. Hello. I'm gonna see if I can make an Instagram post right now so we can ask the peeps to join. Live now on YouTube. Paranormal Club Pod. All right. Hello, Elizabeth. Glad you're here. Like I said, I didn't mention it to a lot. This is why the whole hour thing was very confusing, um, because I didn't tell anybody that we were doing a live stream, except for the people actually that were in the last live stream. So it was a while back. So for a little bit, it might just be us here. It's totally fine. Um, I'm thinking of making an Instagram story just so that people know, but we'll see. Either way, I wanted to go through some of the comments first before I tell you the story that I have for today. It's actually a story that I've shared before. This one is about my own experience, my own paranormal experience that I had. And it's, I would say it's not the creepiest thing that has happened, but it's definitely one of those things that's like story worthy. Like it's worthy of, it was worthy of an episode too for True Scary Story because it expands throughout the whole thing of like I moved to a new place. We're running a hostel. Uh, there were creepy things that were happening there. There was actually a way, I guess, to solve to get out of the whole thing. So it worked out. So it made it like a worthwhile of a story. But first, I want to go over some of the comments here that I've gotten for over on Paranormal Club. Actually, I haven't posted there in like a month. Um, Mama Bear's here. How's it going? Thanks so much for showing up here. Can you hear me? Can anyone else hear me? You know what? I think is the setting of this mic. I don't think it was chosen. No, I don't think I can switch it now. I have a solution, I think. I need to get closer to this. No. Yeah, because it didn't choose a microphone. It just went straight to whatever this thing was. Yeah, this is probably not this mic that's working, huh? Can you hear me here? No, you cannot. Let me see if I can change it. I'm trying to see if this thing allows me to change the... It doesn't let me choose an audio input, but lets me choose a video input, so that's cool. Either way, I think this might be like the actual webcam mic is what you're hearing. So it's going to sound really bad. No. That's okay. No, this is terrible. To me, audio is one of those things that I really worry about. This time I just went on here without actually choosing anything. Yeah. Yeah, it's really low. Hello. No. Yeah, it's there. Okay. Either way, let's go over some of the. If somebody can hear me, then I think we should maybe turn up your volume. Sometimes the volume setting for the computer and the volume setting for the actual stream. Gabby's here. Hey, Gabby. Thanks so much for making it. Where's Mike? Let me see. Yeah, the audio is probably going to be different. Either way, let's go over some of the comments before we get started with the actual story here. So let me see. This one from The Psychological Mystery of Dreams and Telepathy. Telepathy. This was actually one of the most serious episodes, I feel. Like, not serious in terms of like how I my attitude towards it, but more of like how it came out, because it was so scientific that, it came out that way. Because basically, they like, for the longest time, people have said that we should be able to communicate with other people, like, just with our thoughts. Like, our thoughts should just transfer to someone else. And there was this famous psychologist Freud, who said, yes, we are able to do that. But at first he didn't want to admit it, and then later he did. He was actually supporting it. That is a natural ability that we have. So, but then he was a little strange. But people have actually studied, like, if you ever taken a psychology class, his name always pops up. He was very respected in his field, obviously super, super smart. Um, and for him to say that telepathy is real, like, why are more people aware of this? Um, Let me see. Anyway, from that episode, Nico M. Castillo says, I will definitely as a red box from now on. My name is Jose. Identify as a red box. Identify as a red box. That's funny. Next comment here, Natalia says, it felt like I was camping. Thank you for being such a talented and good guy. Wow. Thanks for that. I know Natalia's probably not here, but that's cool. And you know what? I was outside for that episode about the haunting from Colombia. And I took advantage of it because where I was recording, the field hadn't been cut yet. Like, as in, it was long. It was like a long grass, and it looked very like run down. Since then, it was cleaned up. So, oh well. I mean, it's better that way. That way, you don't get rats or mice or whatever. But yeah. And then, oh, about the story from that I recorded with Michelle. It says, and I'm Michelle. That's a running joke from an old, like, one of our older podcasts. That's what we used to do. Like, she used to interrupt saying, I'm Michelle. That was like the thing that we used to do. So she did go too loud. Somebody here says, CP17 says, and girl warning, I'm on my headphones. Oh man. Also, the last time that I was here on our live, I cut out. Let me see the chat here saying Mike's in the kitchen. Gabby, that just got home from work. Hope you have a good day at work, Gabby. Elizabeth says you cut out no sound. Let me see. Okay, so Mama Bear still has sound. Could it be the volume on the stream itself or on the computer? Because there's two. Oh, okay. Darn it. That's okay. Mike is here. Yo. Mad Mike in the house. Cool. What were you making in the kitchen? All right, Elizabeth, come back. Come back once you're through. Hopefully, maybe refreshing. I mean, Elizabeth's having trouble with the sound. Um, Let me see. Jay or Jai the Mermaid says, "Oh my gosh, this one made me laugh. The episode here is Life After Death: Scary True Listener Encounters." Says, "You cracked me up. I'm listening with my headphones, and my husband is looking at me like I'm possessed, just because I'm laughing hysterically with you. Too much. Also, I naturally laugh when I'm nervous. That's what I do." So find humor in the macabre. Macabre. I used to pronounce it macabre. Macabre. It's one of those words that you only read. You don't really say them. Because in Spanish, you say macabro. That's like how you say it. For better or for worse. LOL, thanks for all you do. I have lots of my own experiences. Maybe I will share one day. Thank you for creating this space. I really hope you get to share your stories. I've been getting some emails with stories to share with you guys. So pretty excited about that. Just reading comments here. We have another listener, another watcher here. Thanks for showing up. Let's see who it is. I don't know who it is yet. They haven't commented on the chat, but I'm reading comments real quick. Buzzard Breath 45 says, first time listening. We'll check in periodically. Like it. Cool comment. That's what we should do. Just check. If you subscribe, if you follow, you get notifications. I do that with very few podcasts. So I understand, you have your rotation of shows, but like I do that with a few. Like I know I listen to Nocturne. Nocturne is it's more storytelling, but it's around the night. Like it's around nighttime stories. And they're very interesting, very immersive. I love that show. And then the other shows, obviously paranormal stuff. I'm always into. Eric Quintana says, "Hey sir, do you mind if you would allow me to be able to share a scary story?" Yes, I say it in every episode. Please send your stories. Send your stories. You can email me, edwin@paranormalclub.com. Anyway, so I'll go back to some of the comments a little bit later. But here's the thing that I wanted to tell you about today. I've told a couple of stories already with my own personal things. I still get these questions. Have I ever experienced anything paranormal? The answer to that is yes, I have. Definitely, I have. And the more I think about it, the harder it gets for me to I guess to believe that it's true, because it's been such a long time and now my mind's still like processing that maybe it never happened, as in maybe what I saw was made up in my mind. But the story I've told before takes place in a very small town in Baños de Agua Santa, which is a city, a very small town in Ecuador. So let me see if I can find a picture that you probably recognize. It won awards, I think, by National Geographic, and there's this person that's swinging on this tree swing, and in the background there's a volcano, and it's erupting. This is the picture. I mean, this is not the right picture, but it's like that. You might have seen that picture somewhere. Goodness. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat. But that picture won a couple of awards, actually. But there's a volcano erupting in the distance, and the reason why, I mean, that volcano is actually called a Tunguragua, and that swing is one of the many attractions that this town has. But it's very small, kind of rustic in certain ways. Things are hard to get, hard to find. Like, for example, I'll start from the beginning here. So it was around 2016, 2017. I'm trying to make this business, right? I'm trying to build a business doing social media for people. Like, as in, hey, for your business, I'll make your posts and I'll post them for you. That was the idea. And there was this one guy who responded, and he was like, hey, I need to get social media done and a website done for my hostel. Let's do it. And then he's like, well, you wouldn't be interested in like running a hostel, right? And I was like, yes. What? Are you serious? He's like, oh, then come by and stay here for a weekend. Like, we'll invite you, and then you'll get to see the hostel and we can talk about it. It was like that. That was the offer, like a job offer that came out of nowhere, right? And at that time, by the way, I was in Ecuador. I was in the city now that I am now, in Cuenca. So getting there is probably like a 9-hour bus ride, maybe 8 hours. And yeah, see, like the chat here, Quilter is 19. Oh, welcome, by the way, to the chat, to the live stream. And yes, okay, so this is that creepy story. So this guy straight up tells us, do you want to come and run this hostel? I show up, we're there, everything's fine. The place looks kind of run down. And the reason why is because this place actually used to be a bank. And the building is owned by some, what do you call them? Monjas? Like madres? Like, nuns. I just lost the word. By nuns. So the nuns own the building, and we're running that place. And it's this old thing. Now, here's some things that I've never shared about that thing, and I have a bunch of pictures for it. I don't have a fancy way to share them here on my computer, but I can show you on my phone the old-fashioned way. So you get the feel of what this place was like. So you get to kind of see from like my messed up pictures that I took from my phone what this place was like. And I'm saying it's not like a typical like a Best Western or a I don't know, Motel 6 or Hilton or anything like not even close. This is one of those places that you can tell was put together, like as in very rustically. Like the floors are wooden. They built a bar out of steel, like to actually build a bar, like a bar where people can go and drink. Um, but it was very clean. It wasn't dirty. It wasn't abandoned looking. They didn't have mold, but you could tell some of the old things were there. And I want to show you some of the pictures. So I'm looking through them right now because I want you to see kind of what this place was like. Um, remember, getting there was like a whole adventure. Like it was, darn it, you won't be able to see. I'm literally failing at vlogging here, but I'm trying to see if I ever look up. Wow, this is literally a full minute of me just looking at the ground. uh, what am I doing? Okay, but anyway, I just paused the frame. This is what the building looked like. All right, just so you get the hang of it. That white building, that's the thing. That's the place. And the name of it is right next to it. And right next to it is the restaurant. And the restaurant is part of the hotel itself. You can kind of see what it looks like, right? And yeah, Mike, you're saying invited there out of nowhere. It is kind of creepy. Well, what do? We go. We just straight up go. Um, remember at the time I'm desperate. I'm trying to find a job. I'm trying to find something to do. And I find this opportunity. I'm like, let's do it. I don't know why we're not doing this. Um, the place had beds that were kind. This is where I used to stay. We were gonna stay there while we worked. As in, this is one of the rooms. It had a few. It had like 25 rooms. Obviously, I think you saw in the picture. It had like 3 floors, and at the very top, it had this area. Oh, look, that's for my birthday that they had there. A happy birthday. Eddie. But up there is the cafeteria at the very, very top. As you can tell, the ceiling is kind of like a circus ceiling, like it had a tarp. It looked a little funky, but it was cool. Like it was unusual, and that's what made it, I think, kind of interesting. But the place itself, here's a picture, here's a video actually of the restaurant. I don't think it is going to load all the way, but look at that. It was very nice. See that? The thing is, there's something missing from that restaurant, and that's chairs. You had no chairs. You had to take off your shoes, wear some of the provided socks over your socks, or you can switch them out or whatever, and you would sit down on the floor. And that was the restaurant experience. That was the one that I showed you in the first picture. That was next door. It was like that. The town itself. Let me see if this actually works. But look, this is what it kind of looked like outside the restaurant. That's the name of the hotel. That's one of the volunteers with his hair. But that was a street. That was a street. That's a volunteer that I'm talking about. He's from Argentina. Um, that was the whole that was the general idea of the place, right? Just so you get a feel of it. It looked, yeah, that guy, he looks very 70s. He looked very 70s. He used to work with us. He ended up stealing from us, but still, I mean, he was a good guy. He just ended up stealing from us. So then we kicked. I mean, he left, and then we found out. Um, this very tricky way of stealing is what waiters do at a restaurant where they can sell you drinks, but like as in lemonades, whatever juice or whatever, but not charge it, as in not list it, but they would still charge the customer, so it would never show up on the registry, but the customer got their drink and the waiter got the money. That kind of thing. Um, and why do I have so many pictures, you might wonder? Well, I used to kind of want to do like a whole vlogging thing. And look, that's the backyard of it. I'm in a room right there. Bags. That's the backyard area. I need to show up there in the mirror somewhere. There I am. Look at that. I want to be like a. I don't know what I'm saying. Um, but I have a lot of footage because of that, right? So, but it was like I said, I was there for like about might have been a year. Um, but yeah, it was a while that I was there. Let me see what the chat's saying here. Uh, let me see a time traveler. Oh yeah, the 70s guy. Gabby says my brother-in-law's girlfriend has a ghost video from her haunted house. What? Her house is haunted. Goodness. Um, Mike, this guy. Dude. That was what almost 10 years ago. Dude, think about that. That's me right there, trying to be cool. Goodness. Okay, so this is bringing back a lot of memories. But anyway, so here's the ghost story, right, of that place. By the way, people who just showed up here, talking about a place where I used to work, and the background of the story of when I was in Baños de Agua Santa in Ecuador, uh, where the whole place was like. So the guy inviting us right out of nowhere from the start was a little weird, but the guy himself was really weird, and surprisingly, I don't have any videos of him. Oh, well, actually, we showed up. He showed up in the very beginning to fix up the hostel, and then he left. Literally left, like as in that was that. Like he went to travel or something. And I saw him all the way until like maybe a year later. Here's a better picture of the building from the other side. This is what it looked like. So yeah, he ghosted us straight up. Actually, he used to ask for his money like once a month. Um, so he would just deposit the money, and that was it. The whole deal was we're gonna be like partners, I guess, in the thing. So we used to split the profits, and it worked out for a while, right? But then things got weird. Things got really weird. Uh, as you can tell, some of the electrical. I think this is his hand. The electrical was weird and very rustic, um, which is comes into play. I also want you to notice in this photo of the restaurant. I don't want it to reflect. Those are the lamps. I'm gonna zoom in on the lamps. Those are cups. Those are actual cups that have been painted, and all the way at the top is a light bulb. Right. So take note of that, because that's what I mentioned in the scary story that I told. How those lights were messed with, right? And there were a couple times. Oh, I'm finding pictures of me like, oh, I'm about to jump off a bridge there. Oh dang! Am I gonna jump? Did I jump at that video, dude? Hold on, I want to see if I actually jump. Dude, oh my! I think I do. Ah, but that place is beautiful. Like that place is, dude. That's a terrible jump. Did I survive? Did I? I don't know. Where am I? Oh, there I go. No, I meant like I don't know if I jumped in this video. Like I don't want it to be like a cliffhanger. Like I'm about to jump and the video stops. Dang. Okay, there was good times there. There was good times there. Um, yeah, because Mike asked like, do I remember? Yeah, that was actually it was a bad jump. So like, it was not a bungee cord. It's like you have to swing, like you jump forward, and I did. I just jumped straight down, so I like straight up bounced. But anyway, so there's this picture this video that I took a while back where I'm walking through the hallways, and the hallways like the lights are flickering, and I'm freaking out. Um, if I can find it as I keep scrolling, I'll show you. But anyway, the reception area of the place was also really creepy. because that's where I had the encounter that I mentioned in the story. So just to tell you, like if you've never heard the story before, when I'm going into the reception area, I see somebody in the reception area. As in, sorry, when I'm going into the building, I see somebody in the reception area. And I want you to see what that area looked like so you can kind of tell, you know, how there's no other exit except for like there's one entrance where where when I come in, there's a door, and that door is a half door, so it has a little like bar area where you can open the top and open the bottom. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like a half door, and then there's an entrance on the other side. Like you can see both doors. There's no other way out. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find the a shot of that unless it might be in the background. But anyway, I had a clear view of both entrances into that place. So I step in. Actually, here's the you can't see you can see the reception area, but you can't see what are we doing there? I don't even know what I'm showing you. That's the receptionist. She's the one that saw. This guy was another one of the partners of that hostel. But the place is very like I said, is very rusticy. So you can tell I'm there. I don't know what I'm saying there, but I guess I could activate the audio. But that's the reception area. That's a window into the. I wish I knew what I was saying there.
The accounting stuff.
Oh, there we go. Talking about accounting. Let's see how that goes. Oh yeah, I'm just kind of blogging. Anyway, I step in there and I see a guy. I go into the receptionist like area, and the receptionist is there, and I ask her like, "Who else is here?" She says, "There's no one else here." And I freak out, like as in I straight up. This is the first time that I ever experienced anything like that. So I lean against the wall and I slide down. Literally, I'm against the wall and I'm just sliding down. I can't do it now, but like I'm sliding down until like my butt hits the floor, and I'm there like what? And the receptionist is like, "What's going on?" And I tell her, "I just saw somebody here," and she's like, "What did he look like?" Let me see what the chat's saying here. Culture says, "Oh, it's a Dutch door. That's what you call those?" Oh, I didn't know that. The half doors to go into the entrance. Um, sorry, I'm reading the comments on when I jumped off the bridge. There it says, "I'm just kind of diggling at the end of sleep." I think I said like something like, "Yeah, California" or something like that. I don't know what I said. Um, But that was one out of like 3 or 4 jumps that I did off that bridge because we used to know the guy that did that. That was they had certain days where they would take care of the bridge, like because there's so many tour companies that you get assigned days to run it, like to throw people off the bridge. And whenever he would be like, "Hey, do you want to jump?" And I used to be like, "Sure, let's go." So I would do it. But then I stopped. I'm like, "That's really risky." Like it was really risky. People have died there. So anyway, so I'm still flicking through the videos here to see if I find anything that would support my case here. But anyway, so she says there's no one there. What did he look like? And I tell her like this guy, he's kind of like this tall, small beard, um, and she's like, that's the Chiquito. Like basically that's what they call the ghost that everybody has seen there. I kind of freak out, like because I mean the freak out had already happened, but I say I kind of freak out because it's the explanation to something, or the I guess the confirmation that there is something roaming around. And the place had a lot of like nooks, crannies. The hallways were like between the buildings, it was like half exterior, half interior. The storage area was like just this dark room where people used to use it as storage, even though it was, I mean, as a break room, even though it wasn't supposed to be a break room. Um, the whole thing was was like it was odd. It was a very weird feeling, and I remember thinking like, if a ghost shows up and a ghost wants to be here, like they have a lot of places to roam around in. Like there's a lot of rooms and a lot of hidden closets and a lot of stuff like that. Plus, the place is old, so there's a lot of places. So anyway, after I hear that, I run way the heck up the stairs, and then I tell my girlfriend. At the time, now she's my wife, and we used to hang out at the very top. Like we used to have kind of our like a laptop setup up there because it was like a little cafeteria upstairs. Like I think I showed you a picture of it, but let me see if I find another one. You can kind of see what that's like. Um, Here's me trying to be a vlogger again. Um, that's a cafeteria area. Those tables, if you can tell, I look so much younger. Look at that. Look at that view. Oh, and take a note of that thing that you saw, that little cave thingy. Take a note of that. Those are the workers. Do you see the view of that? Like I mean, this is why I liked it because it was just. And I step out. Watch. I actually step out so you guys can see. Well, so the camera can see what I'm up to. Look, it's a very beautiful town. But look at that cave thingy, right? The little. Look at that. I used to wake up in the morning and just see. Look at that. Um, but that thing that you saw, that little, what was that called? It was called the Temascal. Okay, I guess it's like a fast. Okay, that dome thing. And I look at the. I'm trying to look at the lamps, but I can't find the lamps. Why are the lamps in this place? And why are they so important? You may ask. Oh, there they are. That's a lamp, right? Okay. So, um, so I run upstairs and I tell my girlfriend, "Hey, I just saw a ghost." And she's like, "What?" And the lamp starts flickering above me right at that moment, like right after I told her that I saw a ghost. And we both look at each other like, what the heck? Like, obviously the place is kind of falling apart. So we're like trying to tighten it. This other guy comes by, tries to like a guest, a regular hotel guest, tries to like tighten it too. It's not working. Then another light starts flickering. So we're like, what? Like at the time I didn't connect the two dots, right? I remember it flickering and I used to be like, this is so annoying. Like, why can't they fix this? Like, this is so annoying. I didn't connect the whole ghost thing with the light. I just thought like this is annoying. That's what I thought. Anyway, I had to go get a visa in order to work in Ecuador, right? To do this like like the law states that you're supposed to get that done. Otherwise, they're gonna kick me out because my tourist visa is gonna expire and a work visa lasts 2 years, so I can stay much longer. So I have to go back to the US, get all my stuff done, like as in apply to consulate, the application, FBI check, local police department check, the whole thing, and get everything done. Finally, get my visa. 3 weeks later, I'm back. And when I'm back, they're like, "We had a bunch of problems. Like, so glad you're here. Here's what happened." And they tell me that at the restaurant, which I pointed in the very beginning. I keep looking at the chat here. Yeah, the place is very beautiful. Well, Gabby's saying very pretty, cool dress. Yes, it was a very pretty place. Really, really cool. Mike should have done the three amigos salute before the jump. Like I'm just, yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to do my job. Like, what the heck is up with the poltergeist here, right? So it really it was annoying. But when I got back, the restaurant had they had an issue with the lights one day. The thing was when I was when they had shut everything down, the guard is the last guy. By the way, every single place here has like a night guard, like a guy who just stays up the whole night and like watches over the place, right? The guard is the last guy to set foot in that restaurant, and they actually lock it and they close it down and everything, right? He's the last person in. He's in charge of the keys. If anything goes missing, it's his fault. So what happened was in the morning they try to turn on the lights, but no lights are turning on, right? It's getting darker outside. This restaurant's only open in the evening, so it needs the lights. It's also very dim lighting. They had candles, a fireplace. Like, it was a very dim light. Lighting was essential to this restaurant, and it wasn't working. So what do we do? They tell me that what they ended up doing is they had somebody come and look at the wiring. They try to like check out what could possibly be going on, like inspecting the light bulbs and everything. There's nothing that explains it. Then out of nowhere, like, one of the guys has this idea, like, hey, why don't we like check like the cups that are there? As they're putting their hand in and twisting, they realize that all the light bulbs are loose. Every single one of them, and all the 12 tables that are there, they were loose. So it must have been some kind of prank or something. But who would even have time for that? Who would even want to do that? Right? It doesn't make any sense. Now, that restaurant also had another weird thing about it, and that is that the owner had a mannequin dressed up like him, like the owner, and sat down on one of the tables. It was weird. 1970s guys is not the owner. The owner is this old guy. He's probably like, I don't know. At the time, he was probably like maybe 70. I don't know. And he was a like a hardcore. I'm not saying vegan is extreme. After meeting this guy, no, this guy was like, he believed that humans by nature, we used to eat things that fell to the ground and were rotten. We were scavengers. So he used to eat rotten stuff, rotten apples, rotten crabs like from the ocean, rotten, stinky crabs. Uh, he used to eat raw food all the time. He used to eat raw, rotten stuff. Yeah, it was weird. I mean, who am I to judge, right? But it was weird. It was weird. Um, Again, but still, this guy had a lot of energy. Like, he was old, but he used to run up and down the stairs like nothing. He used to beat all of us. So he was very energetic. I wonder, he might still be alive to this day. So I don't know, but and his girlfriend was like 34, and he got her pregnant. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. We'll talk gossip, I guess, some other time. But it was a weird situation. But anyway, so this guy, um, again, not the 70s guy. The 70s guy is like, he's actually this guy right here. He's he was there for a while. He was there for a while. But anyway, it's true. Now that I see it as like a 70s guy. We're trying to do a commercial kind of thing for the website. Um, but anyway, so although again, we're at the stage here where I saw something at the reception desk. The lights are flickering. I go get my visa. I come back, and then something happens they tell me that something happened at the restaurant. So all the light bulbs are unscrewed. They screw them back in. They're like, that was weird. I don't know what that was about. Um, and they leave it at that. Then they start noticing other things. The keys to the place, right, start missing. Like, they could just go missing randomly one day. Start searching for them. Next thing you know, they're right there in front of me, like in the desk. And when everybody helped me search for them, but they were right there. It was weird. Strange sounds were being heard. Then there was this guy who came by. He was like the local shaman guy. I don't know. He had long hair. And I used to call him like kind of a hippie, but he wasn't a hippie. And he told us, remember that picture of the dome that I showed you, like at the top of the building, that cave looking thing? He said, hey, you got to clean that, right? So when he says that, the cleaners, like the people, the staff for the cafeteria, they're like, "Oh, we got to clean." So they feel they're going to get in trouble. So they start sweeping up there. Like, they go and literally trying to clean. And they're like, no, 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 not clean like that. But like, you should cleanse it, as in there's dark energies that people leave sorry, leave there when they do a cleanse, or that thing that they're supposed to do in that dome. So here is a picture of, it's actually, here's a video of the dome again, in case you missed it. There's a dome. Ah, move too fast. Hold on. So I'm showing a panoramic view of the the place. There's a dome. There's a cafeteria. You see how like simple and it is? Like it's just this. Anyway, so he tells us like, yeah, Gabby remembers the story. Yeah, see, so like he tells us like you got to clean that, and we're like, okay, sure. So they're thinking of like drawing little things. There, the thing is that the owner had made these decisions based purely on business, like only business decisions here. He wanted to get the guard, dress him up as like a shaman, and run like ayahuasca ceremonies. And if you're not familiar, ayahuasca is this thing that you drink, and you have to like be really careful with it because people like they go on this like trip. They say that they see God and stuff. Like it, I've never done it, but like that they see colors and they connect with Mother Nature, and like there's a whole ritual that goes with it. Like before you have to like eat only vegetable or eat only raw like fruits, and then go on like a fast. It's like a whole process that you have to do. But he wanted to just buy the ayahuasca, get the guard, put him like a shamanic attire, and have him do that, pretend to be a shaman. And I'm like, this is a roof. What if a person thinks like they're flying and they jump off the roof? Like this is some serious stuff. So I think that that kind of energy that went into it, like not taking it seriously, may have affected this because things were happening around there. Um, you would hear things at night. The guard one time he freaked out because he felt somebody tug at his leg. Another time he heard somebody cough, like clear as day, somebody cough right outside. He goes out to look because sometimes there's people smoking when they're not supposed to, like in the areas they're not supposed to, and there was no one there. So all of the people that were there were a group of Argentinians, and they were there basically like traveling. Our people from Argentina love to travel, and there were a lot of young people there, and they were like helping us out with the hostel. They were like, some of them were in charge of like distributing flyers, other were in charge of cleaning, some of them were actually helping with restaurant, kind of like volunteers, like exchange or whatever. And they they were forming their little group. So one time they're like, "Hey, something weird's happening. Like, what do we do?" And they decided to do a ritual to cleanse the place using sage and chanting and stuff. I don't know if it worked, but I know that things really calmed down after that. So when I think of all these experiences that we had at the place, I remember thinking, who was this guy? Who was the thing that I saw, the person that I saw? Once I left is when I found the story. Now remember, all this time the owner was very distrustful. Like he did not, is that the word? I don't know, like distrusting. He did not trust us. He used to think that, I don't know, like we would steal money, or like he used to have the accountant kind of spy on us. Um, never stole a dime, never took a dime out of that place. Everything was well documented. Um, but the thing is that he didn't really care. Uh, but what we ended up having trouble because of that. He wanted us to start getting on a schedule and work the reception desk while they got rid of an employee. So basically, sub us in. So we would basically become receptionists at the place and earn as a partner of the place. So we would still have to make choices and manage, but work reception desk. It was really weird. We ended up leaving, and after like a year, a little over a year probably, and it was it was a strange thing because I started finding out all these things about the place. Turns out the owner had gotten the place because he was running it with his wife, his ex-wife. His ex-wife left him because he was crazy. Took his kids and everything, but he got to keep that hostel. So he had already lost a bunch of money. He already had a new girlfriend or and everything. So I think he was fine, but he was still troubled with that kind of thing, like with the whole. His decisions were really weird about the strategy for the place, because the place had been and gotten a reputation. It was actually in the travel guides, like Lonely Planet. Um, he Let me see in the chat here. I remember that story. Time traveler was a thief. Yes, Mike. The picture of the 70s guy, the time traveler. He's the one that took money from the restaurant. Yes. Gavis, can you please show us your shirt? Yeah. Scary Story Podcast. Scary Story Podcast representing. It's cool. It's the black version of it. Like it's the black Scary Story Podcast shirt. It looks cool. The logo's a little big. But I think it's cool when you have it like that. You can't really see what it is, but you see like this dark writing. That's for the Scary Story Podcast shirt. I will bring it back up to for sale again. I'll let you know. I'll let you know what's up, because and actually I really like this texture. It was one of the demo shirts, like the sample shirts that I got, because I wanted to test how soft they were. I don't know. I'm very picky with shirts. Sometimes I like either like really heavy shirts, like like heavy cotton, or like soft stuff, like one or the other, not in between. But like this one is actually really soft and kind of a light shirt, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'll let you know once they're up. Once they're up for you have the gray one. Cool, Slimer. That's awesome. I have the gray one here too. Hold on, I want to go get it. Ah, I don't know if I'll find it right now. It's like in the drawers or hanging somewhere. I also have the gray one. I wear it every once in a while. I don't know if you noticed it, but I wear it every once in a while. But anyway, so yeah, that I ended up finding out so much stuff. Basically, other administrators had stolen money from this guy. There's also other stories about. I actually got to meet the nuns that came by to inspect the place every once in a while. Uh, they were weird, as in weirdly. For me, it was weird because I'm in another country that I'm not familiar with, right? And they take things very seriously. Like they were very like proper, and like it was a strange thing. Um, but some of the stories that I found out about that place is that had been one administrator that stole money, and it was a lot of money. I'm sure it was over 10,000, probably over $10,000. That place used to generate a lot of money. Like in a single month, they'll probably make like 70K, 60K. I mean, for a hotel, I guess that's not that high. For a hostel that was booming, that place we got there, and it was like ranking, like not even ranking in the charts. But once we started really promoting it, it climbed up to number one. Booking.com, Expedia, Hostel World, all these like websites. So anyway, it started booming. So I could see it. But if we were doing so like we were doing okay. Back then it was like packed to the like as in they had wait lists to get there. So I found out that the guy has stolen a lot of money, and he left. Like he got in the car and left with a bunch of cash. This is how we used to pay employees in cash too, by the way. I used to be like, all right, here we go, 1, 2, 3, where I like give them cash in an envelope and like with their name on it, and they would sign that they received it, and like that's how they got paid. So cash was handled a lot. Anyway, this guy gets in his car, starts driving away. You can see in the videos that I show you, like these are just um, mountains around the area. Uh, so to get out, you go to like circle a volcano kind of thing, and he crashed and died. So they say that his ghost roams around the hostel, still unaware that he's dead, and that was his last job, right? He was there. And when I saw the guy at the reception desk, I saw him searching through documents. Like he was standing, going through, like pulling out like a notebook or something. He was like holding a notebook, and and then I realized there's no more shelf there. We moved it. So what's up with that? That's what made me completely change my mind about the paranormal, and like I started believing in all that stuff right after that. it really got me. It was a life-changing experience, what happened there. So so yeah, that's a story, right? If you have questions about the ghost story, anything you want to know, please ask. Because this is a genuinely creepy story for me that I still think about. Like I still think about to this day. Um, I don't. Oh, here's the picture of the reception desk. Okay. So this isn't the actual desk, right? This is when you first come in to the door. That's what you see, and that is one of the doors to get in, and that uh, is the Dutch door. Darn it! What did I do? That is the half door. So there's a clear view to both of those things. Does that make sense? Yeah. So there's a front door. The entrance to the hostel is right here. There's a door for the reception desk, and there's the Dutch door, the Dutch little area right there. That's where you come out. You imagine I deleted it. Good thing I don't think it actually deletes. But but yeah, the whole thing it was cool. Like it was like I said, it was a cool experience to be there. The food was good. Everything was nice. It's just that the owner really ruined it for us. Um, Shame. That's a shame. But but it was a cool experience overall. Like I think that's when I really started to get my the passion of running a hostel or a hotel of some sort. It was a cool thing. It was a nice experience. I feel for, but this is what I mean by like rustic. Like right there, I'm going up the stairs. Look at the stairs. Like they're not really. That's the place. I don't know if right there I make it all the way to the top. Let me see from the chat here. It says Slimer says I couldn't work at a hostel. You see that? Like that's Ligia. She's like my friend. Like we have her on Facebook still. We still kind of keep in touch. They were super cool. And I caught her there. She was like sitting in the cabinet, like just being lazy. But anyway, um, it was a cool experience. Let me see. This says, Coaches, how long were you there? I was there for a little over a year, I would say. I would say. And I wanted to stay longer, but the thing is that it just got too difficult. Like at one point, because we were staying there. So imagine that. Like we were staying in one of the rooms. Living in a hostel is not that fun. Like being there when you're traveling, cool. But like living there while you're working there, we would get knocked at the door at like 3 a.m. Like something went wrong or somebody can't figure out something. We ended up moving out, having an apartment like a block away. And I would say a block, maybe 2 blocks away. I used to pay like $300 a month. Imagine that. Um, but yeah, and let me see. It looks like Mexican style houses. Yeah, it does, Gabby. Sort of. It was cool because like here, in the corner we used to have this guy. His name was Jose. Uh, he used to sell his. They see they changed it into a party hostel, which was a mistake. That was a mistake. But I made a lot of friends there too. It was cool. Have you gone back to check it out lately? Mike asks. No, actually, I haven't. My wife now, she has. She's gone back to that town, and it's funny because the reason why she wanted to go, she's gonna hate me for telling this, but like the reason why is because they have these tacos there, and in all of Ecuador, tacos are not good. I mean, here we have Gabby and Mike from San Antonio, right, in Texas. Texas has really good Mexican food. I'm saying probably the best in the California can compete. LA can compete because it's like you have actual Mexicans making the tacos just like Texas, right? But but yeah, like there's a lot of places that claim to be Mexican food here in Ecuador, but they're not. And that place had a good taco place from Mexicans from the actual like Mexico City, now living in Baños. Like there were a couple. So we used to go there often, and tacos were really good. And she wanted to go there, and on that day they're closed. And she was like, "No, like what?" And that place used to disappoint me when they were shut down and when they were closed because they would close randomly. And one time they also had beans that they had beans in a plate, like they would serve it. And one time they didn't serve beans because they said that people never ate the beans. And I was like, "Are you kidding me? This is the only reason why I come here for the beans." Um, but yeah, and yeah, the rent was pretty cheap, Gabby. It was really really cheap. Uh, Let me see. Closest taco trucks in LA for sure. Yeah, dude, those taco trucks. My mouth is watering. We're gonna talk about food. I feel it. I feel it. Here we go with the food again. It's an inside joke here, running joke, because we always end up talking about food no matter what. Um, but yeah, that's how it is, dude. Like I want my beans. Like okay, look, here's the thing. My mom used to make beans every day. And after being away from my home, my hometown, my house, everything like that, I miss beans. I really do. And I used to hate beans. I used to be like, frijoles again. Like, no, mom, like, can we have something else? Can we get McDonald's? And my mom literally would say, hay frijoles en la casa. Like, there's beans at home. And I used to be like, no. And now I just want beans. you know? Um, it sucks, but yeah, I just want beans. And anyway, that place forgot the beans, and I would get like, ah, how could you? Look, check this out. This is actually the breakfast that they had. You might notice something strange there. I don't know if you notice it, but those are not pancakes. In the middle, they used to have. There was this lady that would go by, and um, like she would sell. This is called a bolon. This thing, these balls, like they look just huge balls in the middle of the table. They're called bolones, and inside they're made of like, you know that plantain, like the when it's still green. They take it out. I don't know, they soften it by I think might be boiling it, and then they soften it. It turns into like a dough. They make a ball out of it, and inside they put like chicharrón, which is what's how do you say chicharrón in English? How do you say chicharrón? I don't know how you say chicharrón. Pork, fried pork rinds. I don't know. Pork rinds, yeah, yeah, something like that. Um, but yeah, they has that in the middle. Also cheese. So like, and they fry it. So it's like this thing. And the workers there knew that secret, so we would go buy the bolon, and they would cook 2 eggs and eat it like that. It was good. Oh my goodness, it was a tradition. And I used to think like, why don't we do this more often? Like, why don't we make this part of the menu? Obviously, you get super full after. I guess people are more used to that kind of thing here. Um, for me, it was really heavy to eat that. But wow, I have a bunch of pictures of food here, burgers and stuff. Goodness, but like this is what I miss a lot. Like I used to in the mornings. By the way, in Ecuador, mangoes are so sweet, so good, and abundant. And I used to ask for a bowl of mango. That's probably like a full mango and a half or something. Mouth is watering. Bleh. Um, but yeah, and it was overall a cool thing. Mine is that scary, that spooky story, but now at least I have a story to tell. Um, my first ghostly experience in Baños de Agua Santa. By the way, they say that water carries a lot of spiritual energy. So that place is known. Baños de Agua Santa means um, what's it called? Like baths of holy water. It's because of the volcano, water was coming out of a rock literally all the time. Look, here's another thing. This is a picture of me, but not me. Now, what could that possibly be? Here's the thing. Here is the thing. For New Year's, and that's me taking a picture of it. Creepy. Um, what happens is at the end of the year, they have this thing called the monigote. So they make a person out of clothing and rags and everything, and they burn them. I didn't understand what that was all about, but now I hear it's about like um, good luck, I guess. But they choose somebody, they make a doll out of you, and they burn you. Also, they make fun of people too, like for something that they did, like a major fail of the year, and they burn you. That's really cool. Um, but yeah, and then yeah, that was my experience there. I'm looking through the pictures right now, and I'm like, wow, I kind of miss it. It was cool. It was cool, but then at times I remember hating it because of the energy there was just so like ah. But this is like the picture of the town square. Literally, they're I don't know why they're walking with like a bull. Um, town square was a block, literally a block away, literally a short block. I'm saying a house away. Um, but it was a cool experience. It's all the people that you get to meet, right? Like when you're traveling and you meet all these other travelers, like it really builds like a whole community there. So it's really cool. But yeah. I don't know if you ever experienced any stories or creepy stories while traveling, but those are weird because you're like in a whole new area. Let me see the chat here, Gabby. The Mexican Coke and beans, dude. With the taco trucks and stuff. Charro frijoles are the best, dude. Frijoles charros. You guys are making me like really miss all that stuff. Frijoles charros are beans made in a different style. My family makes them a certain way with chorizo, spicy like chilies of some sort, some cheese in there. Oh, but yeah. Anyway, Mike says mango's my weakness. Yeah, me too, dude. And mangoes here are super cheap. How much is a mango in the U.S. right now? Do you know? Have you bought any? Slimer says mango and tajin. Yes, they have tajin here, by the way, um, which is really cool. Um, yeah, I actually bought the tajin, like the regular powdered tajin, and chamoy tajin, which I've never tried before. I didn't like it too much, but better than nothing, you know. Chamoy, I'll take. Do you know what chamoy is at all? If anybody knows, let me know. Let me see. Yeah, it was like the whole the reflections there too. Like I remember I caught an image once, and I thought it was a go. There's a video actually that I have that no, I can't find it. But there's a place where I'm actually running down the hall, and the lights are flickering like crazy, and I'm just running, freaked out because the lights are like going crazy, like poltergeist style. I'm trying to find that image. No, I'm not gonna be able to find it. Oh, we also got visited by this, like I guess, famous dog, TikToker. Um, he used to ride in a motorcycle, and he visited us. Never really understood it. I don't know if they were playing us, but here they're serving him a coconut. It's not AI, I swear. It's not AI. This is before AI. Um, now you wouldn't be able to tell, but yeah. Uh, man, this is it's really good times. I gotta stop reminiscing here because it gets to me. I'm like, nah, I want to go back, but no, you have to move forward. Um, okay, I'm gonna stop looking at the pictures right now. And okay, I stop. Um, let me see. Taking it to the town butcher. Um, mango 88 cents. Oh, it's 88 cents. Okay, cool. That's not too bad actually. Here you can get a like a small one for like 25 cents and maybe three for $1, like big ones. A two for $1 sometimes. Um, Not sure if it's regional, but here in SA, San Antonio, small mangoes are about 50 something cents. Okay, yeah, large mangoes are about under $3. Yeah, they're over $2. I feel. Um, Quilters, yes. That guy was a. I think we exchanged lodging for promotion, and I think it worked. We used to do a lot of that kind of stuff. Um, a lot of like ads, and we used to try to work with influencers, but every once in a while you would get people that would say that they're influencers, but they weren't. So, oh, here's a picture of the tacos. Oh my goodness, you can tell. Oh gosh, they look like actual tacos, and they serve with like everything. You see the beans. When was this picture taken? 2018. Look at that. And those are black beans, and they were still good because they had the same seasoning. Normally, I eat pinto beans, but those were black beans, and they were still pretty good. Pretty good. Here is they obviously because it's a religious area. They have a lot of like religious. Oh, I guess it's a video. I thought it was just a picture. Um, Rituals and stuff like that at the church. It was very Catholic. It's a very Catholic area. That never loaded. It's all right. But yeah, those it's a very cool place. I actually recommend you guys go if you ever travel to Ecuador to go check it out. It's cool. It's a very cool area. I actually like it a lot. Um the thing is though, it's I mean there's a lot of you just gotta watch out who you do business with, as in terms of if you pick a tour, who you do the tour with. Oh, look, here's us taking a picture with the influencer dog. He was really cool. I actually got there. He got there in a motorcycle. He used to ride on a motorcycle. Poor dog. I guess he likes it. And the place where we used to live was also kind of a little rusticy, what you would call very humble. I have humble beginnings as a kitchen. Humble beginnings. Now when I think back on all that, I'm like, wow, really good times. But then while I was there, I was like, I hate this place. But yeah. Um, Thinking of all that stuff really brought back brought back all those memories of back then, all the ghost stories. Here actually where I am, I think I told you guys of what happened last time, but when I was mentioning it, the thing that happened here with the footsteps in this floor, like right here, I'm in kind of like the landing in between two rooms. There's two rooms right there, and bathrooms and all that stuff. And this is the second floor. Down there is like a drop. It's like the first floor, and there's nothing here. Like there's no floor here. Like it's just like a I don't know how you. It's a high ceiling. Anyway. So here, after I told you guys about the footsteps, I mentioned it around here, and there's this other creepy thing that happened. My mother-in-law, she was in the kitchen one day by herself. This is usually how she's by herself, and she hears. I mean, she feels somebody whisper in her ear, like, and then she hears somebody say "tia," like aunt, in somebody's voice, like like her niece's voice. Niece, yeah, niece, yeah. And she was by herself. She's the one that mentions a lot of the footsteps. For me, I've heard footsteps 3 times. One time I saw something move up here in this area when I was by myself and I was downstairs. The thing is that if you're in the kitchen or if you're in the living room, you can get a clear view of up here. And I remember seeing like somebody do that. Like you look up and they kind of do this. I remember that very clearly. And I remember thinking, can somebody sneak in anywhere from this house? Like, can you? And I'm like, how do they get up to the second floor and hide in a place where it just has 2 rooms and a bathroom, and that's all. How? Where can they go? Um, really creepy. Oh, I just heard like a something snap. But oh, there we go. Sí, le soplaron la oreja. They blew in her ear. Oh, they blew in her ear, and there was no one home. Really, really creepy. Creepy stuff. I'm telling you. Like whenever there's any I don't know stories that you hear around here, you have people who believe it. People who usually say, yeah, it's there, but I'm not really scared of it. Like it's not that big of a deal, and that's how it is. I don't know. For me, it's a whole other thing because I it's not like I get creeped out. I walk out at night, like get water downstairs. Sometimes the dog wants to come in or leave. They need to go pee, and I won't even turn on the lights. And it's not I don't get creeped out, but there's something eerie about being in a place so big that has dark spots, like dark areas where you can't see what's there, especially when you've seen things. But it's weird because it's true. I've never felt like I'm afraid of the thing, but I've seen weird things here, so it's weird. Let me see the chat. Mike says goes to Ecuador. Where's Ecuador? I'm actually leaving Ecuador in a bit. And I'll keep you guys posted. I'm actually thinking of starting another like an actual YouTube channel with actual recording out, like field outside, recording outside. Um, but it's gonna be a whole thing. I mean, I feel like I can tell you guys, since you guys are like, into the whole, what I'm up to and everything. So you're the first to know. But there's an idea that I have, and I need few more ideas. And you know how we always talk about food? I want to involve culture, food, and dark history and legends with videos. And the angle that I want to take with it is to have me, Mexican American, I guess, Hispanic. I don't know what your preferred term is, just as long as it's not Latinx, because I don't like that. I don't get it. But there's a thing that I want to do where I learned about Mexico in Mexico, but as a person who grew up and lived their entire lives in the United States. So somebody who is not afraid of like being embarrassed by not knowing. Because look, when I was young and I was like little, probably like 12 years old, I remember going to see my cousins in Mexico, and they're like, "Hey, vamos a comprar mangoneadas. We're gonna go buy mangoneadas." And I'm like, "What is that?" And they looked at me as if I were like an alien. By the way, mangoneadas, I wish I would have known earlier. Do you guys know what those are? Mangoneadas? They're these really good, like mango ice cream, but without the cream. It's just mango. What do you call them? Like, and they put like tahini in it. They put chamoy, like spice. They put goodness. It's just really good. It's made in a cup. This is what is it? I just looked it up. Look at that. And it's sour and it's spicy and it's sweet. Hey, Christy's here, Bad Boy's mama. Oh, your baseball practice. There's welcoming my friend Christy there. Yeah, those mangonetas. Anyway, I didn't know what these were when I was 12. And I was so embarrassed because I didn't know what they were talking about. So that's when I realized like there's a whole other world that my cousins know in Mexico that I have no idea what it's about. So what I want to do is document that. I want to go and learn about legends, creepy legends, and food, and talk to people and document all that stuff in a YouTube channel. And I'm very excited for it. I am going to document the whole process so that I can keep it for myself. Or actually, if you guys want to see it, you can see it. But the whole thing of like finding a video guy or a producer, or like my struggles with it. How do I do this? How do I make it happen? So I'm very excited for it, but it's still right now. It's just in the planning stages. But once it takes off, like I'm just gonna go full on, like publish twice a month kind of thing. Stories from Mexico and Latin America. I'm super excited for it. So might not be just Ecuador. Ecuador might just It's definitely going to include it because there's creepy things here too. But yeah. Let me see. The mimic. Cultures man is the mimic. Do you mean like the thing that kind of did that? Because goodness, it creeps me out. Imagine seeing yourself like we talked last time. Like goodness. Um, Gabby says, mimics would happen a lot in my old house. Christy says, never engage with the mimic. That is true. To never do that. Mama Bear, Adventures with Edwin. um, but yeah, those are. Let me see. Gabby says you should try a rusa drink. What is that? Rusa drink. What is that? What's a rusa drink? I want to look it up. But yeah, like those things are. Those are like some of the ideas that I have for upcoming stuff. But I also need to get all this other stuff under control, like the all the shows publishing on time, all that stuff happening. Um, I think it'd be super cool. Culture says they have those carts by Cerritos Mall with the with fruit ices. Oh, the rusa drinks or the mangonelas. You're by Cerritos Mall? That was like that's the closest mall to where I live or where I used to live. Oh, I see the rusa drink. Okay. Yeah, my mouth is watering. Looks kind of like a Michel. Is this it?
Because I am in the north of Mexico, in the city of Arteaga, and I am trying an insane Mexican drink called a Russian. And this is it, guys.
Is that it? Dude, you have no idea how much I miss like tamarind stuff and spicy candies. It looks like this. I think other cultures find this so weird. South Coast Plaza. South Coast Plaza. Yeah, those things are so good, so good. But yeah, I think feel like a lot of people find spice. Like here, for example, people don't eat spicy foods. I mean, at least in this area, and I find it really strange. And they find it really strange that I can eat spicy candy. They're like, spicy candy is supposed to be sweet. I'm like, it is sweet, but it's also spicy. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And I get it's not for everybody, but I'm pretty sure it's addicting. I like it a lot, and I miss tamarind candies a lot. Actually, what I asked people to bring, um, I forgot to ask my parents to bring that this time. Dang it! But Mexican candy. I actually can't really get those chewy kinds of spicy candies anymore. Like, so they have to chew a lot because teeth. But yeah. Slimers, Christy says mangonedas again with my bionicos and diablitos. Dude, bionicos. This is how we end up talking about food. Dude, bionicos. You guys know what bionicos are? Dude, those things are really good. Also, I find it strange because, like in Mexico, for example, I remember when I used to go there as a kid. It was like the coolest thing to just, if you get like a little bit of money, you would go down to the corner street and you would ask for chips, and they would ask you, do you like chamoy in it, or do you like hot sauce in it? And they would charge you like 5 pesos more, just like 20 cents, maybe 10 cents. They would open, like as soon as you order, like ask for it, they open up the bag, like a little bag of chips. They open it and they just like squirt like hot sauce on it or chamoy, and they would close it up, and you would like shake it and you would eat it. It was so good. Um, and they don't do that here, obviously. Here they give you like sometimes in a packet of chips, they might give you like a little mayonnaise packet, like a ketchup, but except it's mayonnaise. It's 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 strange, but it's strange to me, but it's super normal here. Um, Slimer, I love spicy. Cool. Glad you do, because I think eventually our stomachs like it catches up to us to eat so much spicy food. But I mean, in moderation, you can eat spicy stuff. Like I know Thai people who eat like spice, like it's no big deal. Like they will just eat a pepper and it's fine. Um, for me, I have a limit to like the amount of spice that I feel comfortable with. Otherwise, I start sweating and like crying. Um, but yeah, let me see. Culture is post COVID, so many tamale stands never came back. No. Yeah, it was a tough time too. Like, have you ever been to like a Walmart in Southern California or like a Target or something? And like as you're walking out, you hear somebody say tamales, tamales, like they're selling them out of their trunk. Like my mom always buys them. She buy like six, and they're always so good. We don't know who, like, how they're made, but like, as in, we don't. We hope they wash their hands. You just kind of hope, but like, you support somebody, make their money, and you get delicious tamales after. It's really cool. Gabby, my mouth is getting water. Yeah, me too. I don't know if you could hear it. But yeah, it's hard. They're hard to find. Tamales are hard to find now. Bean tamales. You know what? I tried bean tamales for the very first time from somebody from El Salvador. They made bean tamales, and I was like, "Is this Mexican?" And they're like, "It's like a mix." And I was like, "Okay." I've never tried like bean tamales anywhere else except for, well, actually, tamales with the side of beans. Yeah, like mashed beans. Yeah. Mike says, when I was a kid, I remember in Mexico, the bags of chips had like a strip on the side. Yes, had a prize, well, which had a prize. It was mostly a sticker of a soccer team or chip brand. Yeah, you know what? When I remember that, and I know that little strip, 100%. Um, there used to be a thing called tazos, like pogs. You guys remember pogs? These are literally sabritas tazos. Tazos is a game. You would get these pogs. Do you guys remember pogs at all? Yeah. Pogs are the best. Like, look at these. Um, you do? Dude, we should bring those back. We should make like custom pogs. Look, these are like tassels. Like, you see that Pokemon tassels? I used to have a lot of these. And they used to come in the bags of chips. The best. They were the best thing ever. You used to open and be like, "What'd you get?" And you would pull it out. And it's like tassels. And people would collect like stacks of them, like in the tube. I don't know if you guys had the cool kids in my apartment building used to have like the tubes, and they would have like the cool, like the slapper ones, like because you would get the normal ones and then you would get like the big one and you would like hit them, and whatever flipped over, like, you would win. Um, dude, I'm serious. Forget Pokemon cards. We need Pogs. We need Pogs back in the game. Merge Pogs, dude. We should just make Pogs and sell them. How cool would that be? We get sued for using Pogs. Is that what they're called? Pogs, right? Yeah. Um, that is super cool. But yeah, like, and in terms of like merch, I think that'd be super cool. First off, okay, so I took a note of the shirts, right? To stock the shirts. And then we also need Paranormal Club shirts. And uh another thing that's going to be coming soon is the books, like the stories for like either audiobooks or actual books, with the stories, with some of the creepy stories. So those are the thing. And then we need to get a creative one. I was thinking of like getting, I don't know, but people need to ask for it because otherwise we just buy them and nobody, like, as in, we buy it wholesale and nobody buys them. So they just sit there for a while, like they charge us warehouse space. Um, but yeah, Gabby says, "I have your book. Cool. I have a copy of my book here too. That book, I'm gonna end up republishing it because I don't get any income from that book anymore. That goes to the network. They should split with me, but they haven't said anything. So I think it's just, I don't know if it's still on sale or whatever. But I want to reprint, like, do the, Taylor Swift has Taylor's version. I'm gonna do Edwin's version and republish the book. 'Cause they published it. The issue with that book is that they published it too way too expensive. I'm like, nobody's gonna pay $50 for this, and they put like 50 and then split it to like 25. I'm like, okay, cool. But still, 25 was like my target was $12 or $15. That was like the target that I had for them. But the publisher went crazy with it, and I did not like that. But I appreciate all the sales. Like, thank you so much for everything. It did okay when it launched, so I appreciate that so much. Um, and I have a few copies left of the book, But I really want to republish that, like maybe make it a little bit better, and then come up with a long story. Always should autograph them. I don't know if anybody wants me to like ruin their book. I think it'd be cool to have a note on there, be like, "Hey, thank you," because all those stories are like I like them a lot, and obviously some are better than others, but like those stories are, I get attached to those stories, and I don't know, I really want it to be like well produced. If there's like a book. Culture says, "Do you have a PDF or a Substack where you list all your true stories and campfire stories?" No, I don't. But see, I'm gonna write that down too. Um, and I think that would be. We don't have that. And you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. For the stories, for the longest time, we weren't allowed to do transcripts of the stories. Like I would publish a story, and publishers wouldn't let you put a transcript, like the written story. And the reason, they were like, if you ever want to publish these in a book, you can't have them publicly available. Well, fast forward a couple years, now Apple and Spotify automatically like make transcripts and make them available to everybody. So that's out of the question. Like now they do it anyway. But yeah. Anyway, um, let me see. If you guys have any questions or anything, let me know in the meantime. Um, I'm gonna go through some of the last comments here that I have for Paranormal Club, and then we'll let you guys go. Um, Gutierre GQ says Michelle looks just as I picture her, like M from, and that's why we drink. She looks like her. Does Michelle look like M from? Sort of. Yeah. But the glasses, I think the glasses what does it. But that's a comment here. Hope you're not offended, Michelle. It's not a bad thing. Love the episode, by the way. Thanks so much for that. Asma Lama says, I wanted to enjoy the show, but I really couldn't because of laughing back and forth. Yes, okay. Understood. It says, I would honestly just enjoy listening to the story from you solo. Valid opinion here. I appreciate that comment because it's true. Some people don't like back and forth conversations in podcasts. Um, Love this episode. The people want more. Every week I look forward to listening to your podcast while I'm at work. I sneak in an earphone at my warehouse job. Maybe some more Latino urban legends. Did I read this one already? I think I did. I think I did. We also have some in the review. There's a part here in when I read comments that they talk about like in moderation. Like I need to moderate them. That means something probably like bad landed on there. We're gonna go through them later. Did you guys get to check out the newest True Scary Story episode? The the voice that called my name. I think that's what it's called. And the new episode for Scary Story Podcast also came out. It's called The Woman with the Broom. The Woman with the Broom. Yeah, I got some comments on that too. For True Scary Story, we got, yeah, we always get comments on here. She is sweet, but this is boring. Wow, 16 years old with kids. My God, that's very tough to go through, but I do enjoy hearing stories. Um, Goodness. All right, I think that's all I got. There's another one here. It says, I love you, Edwin. I have a million and one questions and a small man in the woods. The Smiling Man in the Woods is my all-time favorite. It creeped me out, right? I listened to it 5 times already. Eek. The Smiling Man from the Woods is probably the creepiest story that we've gotten on True Scary Story, for sure. Also, the mystery behind it, because I reached out to the person who told us the story and we haven't heard back. So I wonder what's up. Let's see what the chat is going on. I see movement here. Let me see. I even have the collection of scary stories to tell in the dark. Super cool, Gabby. I have the same ones. I think I still have the original ones, but they got out. Got left out in the rain one time, and they got all wet. But I still have them. Mike Reyes says, "What's your next destination?" After this, it's probably Mexico. First the northern part of Mexico, then Mexico City. But everything's still kind of being sorted out as we move, as we go. Um, because also I have like a what's it called, tourist visas here in Ecuador, but in Mexico, as a citizen, you get to just be there, so you don't have to worry about, hey, time's running out or anything. So that's probably it. But it's probably gonna be Mexico City. So I'll keep you guys posted where whenever that happens. With also visits to the US, California. There's also some places that I want to visit in Texas and the whole New Mexico, Nevada areas in case like around the Halloween times. But in the meantime, I think there's an event in March in Texas. It might be in Dallas. It's South by Southwest. Um, that's a They're gonna have a podcast movement there, so I might just go there. It's still undecided though. Gabby says that story was creepy. Elizabeth, I'm listening from earlier episodes. Super cool. By the way, Elizabeth, if you're new to I don't know how long you've been listening to the podcast, but we have a bunch, right? We have Horror Story, Scary Story Podcast, Paranormal Club, and did I miss a True Scary Story? Did I say that already? One of them's a call-in show. One of them's a fiction show. One of them's a true documentary, creepy kind of show. And there's this one, Paranormal Club. So there's a lot of stuff to go through. And I know that people sometimes you go from the very, very beginning, and I'm like, thanks. Like, I can't believe it. Like, you're gonna be listening for like 2 years to catch up. There's a lot of stuff. Mike says, "Oh, it's in Austin. Okay, cool. Yeah, if it's in Austin, that's probably where I'm gonna end up going next." For podcast movement slash South by Southwest. But either way, I'll keep everyone posted in case I do end up there. But wow, I've been here for an hour and a half. Streams are getting a little bit longer. Let me know what you want to see next time. Let me know what you want to see next time for on a live stream. I'm thinking if anybody can show me a YouTube video or something on how to set up a gaming thing where like I can play a game and kind of talk along with the chat as I'm figuring out a game. Uh, Please let me know how to do it. I think this thing lets me share screen. I don't know if that's good enough to stream a game on, um, or if it needs to be done through OBS or some other software. Or what scary video game should I play? Um, Twitch. I actually do. You know what? It's just Paranormal Club on Twitch. I don't have any content or anything, but I don't know how to actually stream a game. I think it would be super cool to like, but I want those story based games. Where you're like, um, where you go through a story in the game. I don't know how to describe that. Not so much a shooter. I don't know. I don't know. I get killed right away in first person shooters. The last game I played was Counter Strike, way back like 20 years ago, probably. Um, that was the last game. Yeah, I remember playing on a computer. But after that, I remember trying out a couple of like puzzle kind of games, stuff like that. Lately, I've been playing Let's Go Pikachu on the Switch. It's super cool. I already beat it. I might just get Let's Go Eevee and just play that. I really like the whole Pokemon series, and it was very nostalgic. I really missed the red. I started out with the red version. Wanted to play blue. I actually wanted yellow. I think everybody wanted yellow, but they ran out, so I ended up getting red, and it was cool too. And that those versions are the same ones as Let's Go Pikachu on similar, I guess more upgraded now on Nintendo Switch. So that's what I've been playing. Let me see. Rob does Twitch a lot. Maybe a good resource. Rob. Oh, he does. He does that. I thought he was like DJing. Okay. But yeah, I think I just did like a YouTube video or something. So far, Discord you can stream on there. There's a tab where you can share screen, but that's only on Discord. Maybe Twitch or here. There's an option here to share my screen. But I don't know if that's the same. Oh, got it. Robert Brown. Cool. Um, there's a because it says share screen, so I might just if I just have to share screen, then I might be able to do it here, right? Because I also don't want to get like, oh, go on Twitch, go here, go there, and like lose people. I think people are aware of like YouTube, and they're like, we get this done. But anyway, Yeah, let me know. Let me know. There's also other things too. We can come up with a story, like actually write it out during a live stream. We can instead of having like me on the computer here, I can actually use my phone and like I don't know, go to a place and do something. Any idea that you have or other people that you know are doing something, let me know. Because we're trying out a bunch of different things to see what works. And our last live stream, actually, we don't get a lot of views, but this one got like 200, which is it's not again not a lot, but it's out an outlier from what we normally do with videos. We got twice as much engagement. Um, so something's working. And also for YouTube Shorts, we might be hitting 1,000 views, which is, I mean, again, it's small, but like it's growing, and I think that's what excites me of all this stuff. Um, our other shows, obviously, do a lot better in downloads, but like with YouTube, it's completely different. It's a whole other thing. You have to play the algorithm game. So so yeah. Anyway, but yeah, keep me posted on what you think of all that. Of the whole live stream thing, what you would like to see next time. We can also make the next one for next Thursday if you guys are up for it. If you can make it, um, you as soon as you see the live thing pop up on the YouTube channel, like the live tab, you're gonna see a date on there, and that means we're coming on here. Also, I need to record another episode for Paranormal Club fairly soon. So if you have ideas for that, let me know because we have another listener submitted stories coming up, which is cool because I got a bunch of emails with stories. So it worked out. Mike says, "I promise I won't sidetrack you on the next stream." I think it's cool. I think this is what makes it cool. Like we did telling a story and then we just go into other things like normal, like food and stuff. We always talk about food. So you guys next time think of your favorite food and we just talk about it. I'm a bear. Sounds great to me. Okay, I can't make promises. Yeah, I think we should just keep it like that. I think it's cool. I think it works out. Anywho, thanks so much, you guys, for hanging out with me tonight. It's really cool to be able to do this. So next Thursday, if you guys are up for it, same time. If you want to change the dates for these, let me know. And then watch out, keep an eye out for the new episode of Paranormal Club, which is also coming soon. Um, you know what really helps if you tap the share button, even if you don't share it, like you just tap the share on the Paranormal Club podcast. It helps out. It helps out a lot. Ratings, reviews obviously help out a lot too. But yeah. Anywho, good night, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Remember to keep it scary. We'll see you guys soon. See ya.